No, this is awesome. I think this is one thing that's like I want to know a bit more about astrology. I want to know more about numerology because I think tarot standalone is awesome, but I think when you can throw all that stuff together, I think what you're doing is amazing. I think it's really
Oh,
cool.
thank you. Hey, it's David, and you will want to listen to this entire life path reading because we have Zoe from Australia, who just happens to be the 2022 tarot reading champion for the tarot contest that I host. I've actually put in box in the description, so if you want to work with any of my guests, including Zoe from today, just click on the link to connect me with a guest and fill out the information because we're going to have so many amazing guests on here that you're going to want to get connected with them.
I'm 40 now, so it's just been 40 years of squishing down all those parts of me that I really like. And now it's like, oh, it's safe for you to come out. But I'm a bit like, oh my God, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't. Yeah, tarot and stuff just really lights a fire. I have a real disconnect between this is what I want to do and I'm actually good at it between getting people. I guess because I think it's still a bit polarizing.
Yeah,
Like because my main social life is with other school parents, like at drop
yeah,
off and pick up, and you sort of talk about that with people and they get a bit weirded out, like,
yeah.
oh, it's supernatural. Like, so I find I'm really sort of tight-lipped about it. And then I'm like, how am I supposed to market or get people to help if I'm too scared to tell them for fear of rejection, like that type of.
Yeah. Even the people you would never suspect, if you just kind of like put it out there, they may not say
Yeah.
anything while other people are like, oh, that's weird or whatever. But then behind the scenes, they'll be like, hey, can you give me a
Yeah.
reading?
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm starting to do now. I'm sort of letting it out. And I think winning the competition was just a massive confidence boost for me. So now I'm starting, and like that's sort of my like, oh, well, I just won this competition and people were interested at that. But when I just
Yeah.
sort of, you're just having a conversation and you're like, by the way, I read tarot cards, people are a bit like,
Yeah.
oh, like I don't want you to know everything about me. Like I think that's the vibe they get. But
And
yeah.
then the energy I had below, the subconscious one, this is the 10 of Cups.
Okay.
This is,
Yep.
the Hollywood ending. So this would be the energy kind of hopefully pushing you through all this
Yeah.
other struggle to the transformation that you want to have, which is, if you still hold what it is that you want for your, fully emotionally rewarding, ending that you're looking for.
Yeah, that's definitely that's it, like I feel like it's there, like I can see it. Like that's why I keep going and I haven't completely, just gone, oh, I'll just go back to uni because it's easier and it's practical. I can feel that it's there, but I know that I've got some hard work I've got to put in first. And
Yeah.
after I'm starting to feel like I can attack that now. Whereas if you go on back 6 months, I was still like, nah, this year's been too hectic. I just don't have the energy to do anything apart from get through the day.
But I think since this
What does it
is
mean to you in this position?
in this position, since this is another subconscious response, I think it's going to
Okay.
be as you go on this path towards your life path, you're going to think that you are sorting out your, call it the career aspect. But once you start resonating in your true energy, it's going to surprise you that other things will sneak in.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's a,
cool.
since it's late, it's towards the next to the outcome. I think it's a down the road. And once you start to get, motivated and move forward on your own, like that, you just again naturally, you're naturally gonna be with your flock or attract your flock, and then you
Yeah.
may find somebody who's more you resonate with.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
where it's amazing what happens when you actually follow what you want to do and not do what everybody else wants you to do. Hey, it's the biggest
Yes.
lie that you're told growing up.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
really, I feel like that's why I even want to do this, like, so I can figure it out for my kids to help them. I've started to, I always made like practical decisions. I really feel like often the practical choice is not the best choice because you're
Exactly.
literally sacrificing the heart-centered choice in order to make the practical choice for something earthly plane, whether it's money or, simplicity or some, practicality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I agree. I agree. I know, yeah, my kids are getting a completely different upbringing than I did with way different advice. And it's cool. So what does that all mean? Like, I've got so much in the 12th house, which is endings, and so much of nine, which is endings. Like, what does that actually mean? Does it just mean like I'm an old soul and I don't
Yeah,
like,
so I
yeah,
I I view 12th house energy as, what is the legacy you're going to leave behind for others, right? So whatever
yeah,
practice that you end up doing, that's how I view the world card and the tarot as well too, because I view judgment before that as like what's your true calling in life. And
yeah,
then once you figure out your true calling, what really ends up happening is like, okay, what are you going to sacrifice of yourself? We each only have so much time, money, and resources that we're going to have in this lifetime. Of those, how are you going to spend them to making the change that you want? So I always use the example of like, my brother's family, he's got lots of doctors in there. So I've, learned lots of the behind the scenes on doctor world. And I basically come to the conclusion, like, nobody should be doing it for the money or the prestige because it's going to eat you alive. It has to be a true calling to help other people. Otherwise, it's, it's just the hours and all that kind of stuff. And the debt is just going to be too much. But in the same way, it's like, it's this funny thing of, the 12th house astrology is the house of sacrifice. So you have doctors who can help and heal people and really work kind of like magic here on the earthly plane. But in doing so, they're harming their own health by working like crazy late hours. They go, they looks like they age a lot faster from the stress. They go bald and all that kind of stuff just super early. It's because it's almost like in Reiki, they're almost like transferring their energy, like sucking their life force out of them to help other people, in the metaphysical world. But that is a lot of this 12th house energy is like, what is it, where are you want to go that's willing to those types of sacrifices in order to make the change or the impact that you want to have that might be a legacy that leaves beyond you? Because after the 12th house, if you believe in reincarnation, that's the end, right? You're just going to come back through. So it's like, okay, what are you going to leave behind that's a legacy that actually outlives you in this lifetime? The cause is so worthwhile and so worthy that you'd be willing to, work whatever hours,
that makes sense. That's what I want. That's the kind of life I want to live, where it's just like, it just has to be this way because the pull is so strong. But then I sit here and I'm such a procrastinator. Legacy is what makes it endure. Legacy is what makes this life meaningful. Like, what do you, like, Mark, do you want to leave in the world? And I guess I haven't really been asking myself that question enough. I just know, like, I just have a pull that I want to help people. And I feel like I have a bit of a knack at getting to the deep, nitty gritty, emotional, spiritual stuff, which, as far as in Western society, it's like, that's such a throwaway, nobody's really thinking of that. And that's why I'm getting frustrated at the moment. Like, I know what I want to do, I just don't know how to actually execute it in a way that people are going to listen and not be scared.
Well, let's look at your life path on 9. So people on life path 9 are focused on compassion, generous attitudes towards others, and dramatic emotions. Strong humanitarian side can affect every aspect of their life being. They have copious amounts of compassion and a drive to make a difference in other people's lives. Path 9 people often have a great sense of honor and can be trusted in all things. Wherever you are, you radiate good vibes. You have a vivid inner world, but people around you can't understand what person you are due to your tendency to close up as soon as you get too much attention.
Yeah, that's so true. I hate it. I'm so shy. I'd love to share it because I think I'm pretty interesting. Like, I've always said to be like, I'm a bit of a tripper. I'm like a bit quirky. Like, this is just who I am. But then it's like, I just have a real hard time sharing it. I think because I just have been so rejected by like family. Like, I grew up, they're like, oh, no one's going to want to be your friend if they know you're like this. No one's going to want to marry you. And that's how I grew up. Like, everything about me was, and it's only been since like my 7-year-old, he's the quintessential middle child. And I look at him, I'm like, that's what I was like. Like, and this is what I'm like, he is me. And he is crazy. He's like I don't know if you get Staffordshire Bull Terriers over there, like the crazy dogs, like Staffies. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, he's like a Staffy, but he just lives his own life. He doesn't give a shit. And he's amazing. And I'm like, oh, this is how I grew up. But everyone's like, oh my God, stop that. That's so terrible. You need to change that about you, or no one's going to, and that's how I grew up. And I still have a lot of like no one's going to like me if I tell them what I'm really like. And I'm really trying hard to get over that. It's helped having him and seeing his doesn't give a shit attitude, which is great. But I haven't quite been able to harness it yet. I'm just building him up. Like, you don't change, mate. You do you.
I was gonna say that's already a legacy. Like, instead of squashing it, like it would have been like, how do you build it up and let him
let his crazy little flag fly. It's awesome. I love it. Like, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, mate, but you keep doing you now.
I think that comes back to the 2 of the cards. So the 10 of Cups. So what would it be to be emotionally fulfilled, living exactly how you want to live, and then spending the time as the hermit, kind of on your own, contemplating how to find that within yourself.
Yeah.
And then obviously the magician to manifest it once you come out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like it's all there. I have it's such a duality. Like I feel like I have it all there. I am confident. I know I can do it. I know I can help people. But when it comes to my human actually getting out there and doing it, there's just this like, don't do it. Like
Yeah.
it's frustrating. I just don't, yeah. I'm like, what's the key that I need to like unlock this and just get on with what I know I can do?
Yeah.
Obviously I have a couple of lessons still that I need to learn a bit more deeply.
Was this helpful at all?
Super helpful. Yeah, you
Okay.
really just changed my perspective on a few things, like to open it up and make it, yeah. And yeah, like going within, I'm definitely, there's a few takeaways, like working on my self-worth and just ways that I've been thinking about going about my business side of it, and not, it's like not this big insurmountable mountain. I just need to start actually walking,
Yeah.
and it will all come.